Welcome, curious minds and magic enthusiasts. I'm delighted you've joined us on this magical journey through the fascinating evolution of Wandlore. Today, we're exploring the incredible story of how simple twigs transformed into the sophisticated magical instruments we know today, from ancient shamans channeling natural energies to Ollivander's revolutionary wand-making techniques. This is the complete history of Wandlore. Long before the sleek wands we recognize today, our magical ancestors were connecting with the natural world in profoundly different ways. The earliest magical practitioners, dating back to approximately 25,000 BCE, didn't use wands at all. Instead, they channeled magic through ritual objects, specially selected stones, animal bones, and carved figurines. These primitive magical tools weren't just random objects, they were carefully selected for their magical resonance, objects that somehow amplified the user's innate magical abilities. Ancient cave paintings across Europe, Asia, and Africa depict shamans pointing sticks or bones toward the heavens, suggesting early attempts to direct magical energy through external tools. The transition to wooden implements was a crucial turning point. Wood, being the living tissue of trees, possessed unique magical properties. Different species of trees exhibited different magical characteristics, a fundamental principle that remains central to wand making. Even today, as human societies grew more complex, so did their magical tools. By 5000 BCE, evidence suggests that Egyptian magicians were using reed wands with specific lengths and carvings. These weren't yet the personalized core containing, instruments we know today, but they represented a significant advance, specialized tools designed specifically for magical use. The earliest confirmed true wand, meaning a wooden tool containing a magical substance core, dates to around 2000 BCE in what is now modern-day Iraq. Archaeological discoveries have unearthed wands containing phoenix feathers, sphinx hair, and even powdered basilisk fang. Notice the crude binding techniques and the rough-hewn appearance. These early wand makers understood the principle of combining wood with a magical substance, but they hadn't yet developed the sophisticated methods of core insertion we see in later periods. By 500 BCE, Greek magical practitioners had refined wand making considerably. They discovered that certain woods paired better with specific cores. An olive wood wand, for instance, worked harmoniously with phoenix feather, but rejected dragon heartstring. This fundamental principle of wand compatibility would become the foundation of all modern wand making. While Western wand-making evolved along one path, Eastern magical traditions developed fascinatingly different approaches. In China, as early as the Zhou dynasty around 1000 BCE, magical practitioners favored wand-like instruments made from jade, crystal, and occasionally bamboo. Unlike their Western counterparts, Eastern magical tools often incorporated precious stones and metals. Chinese wizards discovered that jade could store magical energy for later use, essentially creating the world's first magical batteries. These jade wands didn't contain cores, but were instead carved with intricate runes that guided and shaped the caster's magic. Japanese onmyoji developed perhaps the most unique approach to wand lore. Rather than using a single wand, they wielded multiple specialized tools, often 5 wooden implements representing the 5 elements. Each wand would be used for specific categories of spells, making Japanese magic extremely precise, but requiring practitioners to master multiple instruments. Indian magical traditions took yet another approach. Their wands, called vajras, were typically made of metal rather than wood and were designed to channel specific magical energies related to the body's chakra system. These traditions remind us that the Western wand tradition we're most familiar with is just one of many approaches to focusing magical energy. The fall of Rome and the onset of the medieval period marked a dramatic shift in wand making as magical communities became more isolated and secretive due to growing Muggle persecution. Wand making evolved from a common craft into a specialized art. By the 9th century CE, wand-making guilds had formed throughout Europe. These secretive organizations standardized techniques and passed down increasingly sophisticated methods of core integration and wood selection. The biggest innovation of this period was the development of sympathetic selection, the understanding that a wand works best when it shares certain characteristics with its owner. Medieval wands were typically longer than modern ones, often up to 18 inches, and less refined in appearance. They frequently featured elaborate carvings and sometimes incorporated metal components. The famous wand maker Geraint Ollivander, ancestor of the more recent Garrick Ollivander, established his family's shop in 382 CE, making it one of the oldest continuously operating magical businesses in Britain. This period also saw the rise of regional wand-making styles. Germanic wand-makers favored rigid woods like oak and ash, creating powerful but sometimes temperamental wands. Mediterranean wand-makers pioneered flexible cores like a velar hair and created wands particularly suited for charms and transfiguration. These regional variations influenced spellcasting styles and even magical education across Europe. The Renaissance period from the 14th to 17th centuries saw wand-making elevated to a true art form. This was the era of the great wand-making houses, families who refined techniques over generations and jealously guarded their secrets. Three names dominated Renaissance wand-making: Ollivander in Britain, Gregorovitch in Eastern Europe, and Beauvais in France. Each developed distinctive approaches that defined wand-making for centuries to come. Ollivander's refined the Three Supremes approach, focusing exclusively on dragon heartstring, unicorn hair, and phoenix feather cores. This standardization allowed them to perfect their techniques with these specific materials rather than experimenting with lesser cores. Mikhail Grigorovich, in contrast, pioneered experimental cores, including velar hair and even thestral tail hair, which was considered highly unstable by his contemporaries. His wands were known for their power, but were sometimes unpredictable. The Beauvais family of France created what many considered the most beautiful wands in Europe, slender, elegant instruments that excelled in delicate charm work. They pioneered the technique of heartwood extraction, using only the central portion of a tree for their finest wands. This period also saw crucial technical innovations. The core channeling technique, where a precisely measured groove is created through the length of the wood before inserting the core material, was developed in 1582 by Violetta Beauvais. This technique, still used today, drastically improved the stability and power transmission of wands. As the world entered the industrial age in the 19th century, wand-making faced a critical challenge: how to meet growing demand while maintaining quality. The global magical population was expanding rapidly, and traditional artisanal methods couldn't keep pace. Wand makers like Johannes Jonker in America pioneered semi-automated techniques for the initial shaping of wand woods while maintaining hand-finishing for quality. This balance between efficiency and craftsmanship defined 19th century wand making. This period also saw the first attempt to scientifically categorize wand woods and cores. In 1819, Japanese wand maker Shikoba Wolf published The Fundamental Principles of wand making, the first comprehensive text analyzing the magical properties of 60 different wand woods and 12 core materials. Her work transformed wand making from a purely intuitive craft into one with systematic principles. The 19th century witnessed another crucial development: wand regulation. As international magical cooperation increased, standardized testing methods for wand safety were established. The International Confederation of Wizards passed the Wand Safety Act of 1875, requiring all commercially sold wands to meet minimum stability requirements. This legislation forced some experimental wand makers out of business, but raised the overall quality of wands available to the average witch or wizard. Despite industrialization, the core principle that the wand chooses the wizard remained sacred. Even as production methods modernized, wand makers preserved the crucial final stage where potential owners tested multiple wands to find their match. The balance between tradition and innovation ensured that wand making entered the modern age without losing its soul. While many wand makers contributed to the evolution of the craft, no single figure revolutionized wand making more profoundly than Garrick Ollivander. Taking over his family's business in the early 20th century, Ollivander would transform wand making through both technical innovation and philosophical insight. Garrick Ollivander's first major contribution was his rejection of the customer preference model used by many wand makers, where customers could request specific materials. Ollivander insisted that only through unbiased testing could a wizard find their true wand match. This approach, though initially controversial, proved more successful in creating powerful wizard-wand bonds. Technically, Ollivander perfected the integrated core method, where the magical core is suspended in a special resin before insertion into the wood. This created unparalleled stability and eliminated the core separation problems that had plagued earlier wands. Perhaps most significantly, Ollivander developed a comprehensive theory of wand allegiance and ownership. He was the first to articulate that wands develop a form of consciousness through use, becoming more attuned to their owners and potentially changing allegiance when won in combat. This understanding of wand psychology transformed how wizards viewed their relationships with their magical tools. Under Ollivander's influence, wand design became more streamlined and ergonomic. The average wand length decreased from 14 inches in the 19th century to approximately 11 inches by the mid-20th century. These shorter, more responsive wands facilitated the development of new spell techniques requiring precise movements. While European wand-making traditions, particularly Ollivander's approach, became dominant globally, unique regional traditions continue to thrive and influence modern wand lore in fascinating ways. African wand makers have long specialized in wands that amplify specific magical strengths. The Ouagadougou school, for instance, produces wands specifically designed to enhance transfiguration abilities, using core materials from magical creatures that naturally transform, like selkies and chameleon-like magical lizards. North American wand making developed along distinct lines due to the influence of Native American magical traditions. Cores from thunderbirds and wampus cats create wands with unique properties not found in European models. Shikoba wolves' thunderbird tail feather wands are particularly renowned for their power in weather-related magic and transfiguration. South American wand-making traditions incorporate woods unknown in Europe, such as jacaranda and Castello Bruxo redwood. These wands excel in herbology applications and healing magic. Brazilian wandmaker João Coelho pioneered resonant core pairing, using two harmoniously matched core materials in a single wand, creating instruments of extraordinary subtlety. The late 20th and early 21st centuries have seen fascinating technical innovations. Japanese wand maker Toshiro Takahashi developed the unified resonance technique in 1998, where the wand wood is treated with potions derived from the same creature providing the core, creating unprecedentedly harmonious magical instruments. Modern wand making also benefits from advances in magical metrology, the science of measuring magical effects. Using instruments like the magical resonance spectrometer developed in 2005, wand makers can now quantify exactly how different woods and cores interact, taking some of the guesswork out of material selection. Like any powerful magical tradition, Wandlore has faced its share of controversies and ethical debates. As our understanding of magical creatures and ecosystems has evolved, so have the ethics surrounding wand-making materials. The sourcing of core materials has become increasingly regulated. Phoenix feathers, for instance, must now be naturally molted and freely given, a standard established by the 1965 Magical Creature Protection Act. The harvesting of dragon heartstring is strictly controlled to ensure it comes only from dragons that died of natural causes. Some contemporary wand makers have pioneered alternative core materials that don't require magical creatures at all. Wand maker Luna Scamander has developed wands using crystallized magical energies drawn from powerful magical locations like ley line intersections. Another fascinating debate concerns wand rights and autonomy. Research by Hermione Granger Weasley has suggested that wands develop a form of limited consciousness after prolonged use. This has raised questions about whether wands should be treated as semi-sentient magical artifacts with their own rights, particularly regarding forced transfers of allegiance. The relationship between social privilege and wand quality has also come under scrutiny. Historically, the finest wands were reserved for elite magical families who could afford them. Modern magical governments have implemented programs to ensure that financial limitations don't prevent talented young witches and wizards from accessing quality wands suited to their abilities. As we look to the future, Wandlore continues to evolve in exciting ways. Innovations in both materials and techniques promise to expand the possibilities of what wands can do and how they connect with their wielders. One of the most promising frontiers in wand making is the development of adaptive cores, magical substances that evolve over time to better match their users' developing abilities. Wandmaker Cho Chang has pioneered cores containing specially bred magical moss that grows and changes within the wand, creating an instrument that literally grows with its owner. Research into wand personalization has accelerated. Modern wand makers can now create instruments tailored not just to a wizard's general temperament, but to their specific magical strengths. These optimized channel wands can amplify particular abilities, making them valuable for magical specialists like healers or curse breakers. Perhaps most revolutionary is the work being done in wand communication. Building on the priori incantatum effect, researchers at the Department of Mysteries have developed prototype wands that can share information with each other and potentially transforming collaborative magic and magical education. As we conclude our journey through the evolution of wand lore, we're reminded that the humble wand, from its beginnings as a simple twig to today's sophisticated magical instrument, represents one of wizardkind's most enduring innovations. It's a testament to how magical understanding evolves, building on tradition while embracing new discoveries. From ancient shamans channeling magic through simple sticks to modern wand makers crafting personalized magical instruments with precision inserted cores, the evolution of wand lore reflects the broader journey of magical knowledge itself. The next time you pick up your wand, take a moment to appreciate the centuries of discovery, innovation, and craftsmanship that made that magical moment possible. Every spell you cast is built on thousands of years of magical tradition. I hope this exploration of Wandlore has deepened your appreciation for these remarkable magical tools. If you enjoyed this magical journey, be sure to subscribe for more deep dives into magical history and theory. Hit that notification bell to be alerted when our next video drops. We'll be exploring the fascinating history of broomstick development. Until next time, keep your wands at the ready and your curiosity sparked. This has been the evolution of Wandlore, from ancient twigs to Ollivander's innovations. Thanks for watching.